any good acting has behavior with it.
Nate, why such bitterness? What have I done to you? Get out! You're no nephew of mine. As far as I'm concerned, you're as dead as that wretch Cermak.
You have to embellish the words with a certain amount of gravity. Because we're talking about things that are really important here that are kind of secret. There's a natural kind of darkness when you talk about noir. You know, it's great. I love it.
Well, it's Laser Bob from 1987 coming right at you. And then it's me coming at you from right now, 2026. Robert Meyer Burnett. Welcome, Imagination Connoisseurs, and welcome to the 43rd episode or something of Let's Get Physical Media. You know, it's been a crazy week. Lindsey Graham died. Mitch McConnell's probably dead. Who knows what's going on? The midterms are, I don't even want to think about it. We're ripe for a takeover of a foreign power or UAPs. Who knows? Whichever comes first. I welcome our new overlords, whoever they may be, as long as I can still eat bacon, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, and I know you do, you don't care about that. You don't care about me. What you do care about is one man. One man whose team is no longer in the World Cup. But it looks like, is it going to be an all-European World Cup? Who knows? Don't know yet. It'll be interesting if it is. Is Argentina going to beat Switzerland? Do we know? I think we do. Anyway, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, you know him, you love him. He is DIETER Bastian.
Well, Rob, the heat is back on, but the sea wing will open later with air conditioning, but you and I will power through without it. And I say, greetings, Imagination Connoisseurs, DIETER here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. And Rob, let me just start right off the bat. I loved the intro of the Midnight Metal show that you did with Dave. It was great to see that old clip about being not into the satanic cult with that heavy metal stuff. It was great. Where did you find that clip, Rob?
You know what? Somebody sent it. I think somebody sent it in our group chat for John Campia. The guy Scott, I believe, sent it. And I thought it was so funny. I mean, you know, I'm watching all that, and you know what I was thinking when I saw that clip? I thought it was so funny. I'm like, from my perspective, if there really were satanic cults that kids could be a part of, I would say to myself, well, that's a good thing. At least they're getting out of the house and they're showing wherewithal, and they're praying to their, you know, the high priest of the underworld. They're actually doing something. They're not in front of their screens. You know, they're going out and they're making pacts with the devil. They're selling their souls to presumably. So I think that's
They're writing their black diary, Rob.
They're writing in their black diary, and I'm like, these are active kids. They're out trying to make something of themselves, and I would say compared to today's kids, who are, you know, online activists and all they do is rat out people and go after them. I'm like, I'd much rather have a nation full of Satanists who are very active and who really believe in themselves, and they're getting out of the house and they're doing something. They're building communities, Dieter. They're building communities. And you know, with the way that the world's going right now, whether it's UAPs or whether it's old Scratch himself coming up from the Stygian depths of hell, could it get worse? I don't know.
Well,
but no, I just thought that was
always.
People believe in the 80s, though. You know, you had, like you said, the PMRC, the Parents Music Resource Center. People were mad because Prince was singing about masturbating with a magazine, which is, you know, let's face it, something I do on a daily basis. Why are you mad about it, lady? But it's just, it's going back, and people really believed. Yeah. Like, you know what bums me out? You'd think that Satan would have something better to do. Like, he doesn't need to make rock and roll. Other people are already doing that, you know. And we're going to play my. He doesn't have to hide his messages on backwards tracks on records. Like, come on, man. Satan can do better than that.
Yeah.
But people believed it.
And speaking of music, Rob, I hear Michael has done it. It crossed the $1 billion threshold at the box office this weekend.
Well,
And how are we looking, Rob?
You know what? I forgot to pull up Deadline. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up for you right here, and let's see what. Let's see. Oh, the Seattle Seahawks was sold to the Vinod Khosla Group for a record $9.6 billion. Here we go. Box office. Lionsgate's first movie to hit a milestone. Michael has crossed 1 billion worldwide.
Insane.
This is true, and this is breaking news, and this comes to us from Deadline and Anthony D'Alessandro. Lionsgate and Universal's Michael has finally crossed 1 billion after 12 weekends in release. Not only is that the second movie to do so in 2026 after Super Mario Galaxy, but it's the first ever title for Lionsgate to clear that milestone. The studio distributor's previous highest-grossing movie ever was 2013's Hunger Games: Catching Fire. You know that one well. Which Michael surpassed a while ago. That Jennifer Lawrence movie ended its global run at $865.2 million. Broken out, the current domestic for the Antoine Fuqua-directed movie is $371.8 domestic and $629.8 overseas. And the biopic's final market, Japan, is a very popular Michael Jackson territory, and it would take this movie across the $1 billion mark. The current running cume in Japan is $35.75 million, which is huge business in that country.
Yeah.
And Russia is one of the last movies. So that's pretty great. And Graham King, who produced Michael, his last movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, made $911 million worldwide. And Michael also out-boogied, as they say in this. I didn't write this. It says right there. Michael Jackson. Michael out-boogied Oppenheimer as the highest-grossing biopic ever. And so that's pretty exciting. Very exciting.
So pretty high chance for a sequel, I would say.
You know what? I don't know if they can make that, but yeah.
Okay.
Now, here we go at the domestic box office, this is pretty shocking. Moana misfires, and it opens to only 43 million. And it even has an A- cinema score. So this also comes to us from Anthony D'Alessandro. The live-action Moana did not catch a wave on Saturday when most families came out, crashing to the shore this weekend with a 43 million U.S. opening and an even worse result around the world, with a total of 95 million, far below the 130 million worldwide that was hoped for. It is among the weakest for a Disney live-action redo of an animated classic, down there with Snow White and Dumbo. And what's mind-boggling is that Moana had no controversy, a la the former, with its very vocal star Rachel Ziegler. Typically, when Disney brings the old stuff, pre-Katzenberg animated 1980s and 90s era stuff into the flesh on screen, the results are lackluster. But this is truly upsetting for the studio to see the live-action version of what is one of their most popular franchises, especially on Disney Plus, capsize in its opening weekend. The hope, if any, is here is that the A- cinema score creates some word-of-mouth wind to drive people into the theaters midweek for the latest Dwayne Johnson movie, as a testosterone-fueled Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey commences with its journey on Friday. Moana earned an overall an A with women and an A+ with the under-18 demo. It's wild that with those kind of numbers that it's not doing better. But it's not. It capsized. And let's look at the other box office. So Moana is number one with 43 million. Minions and Monsters made another 20.5 million, only down 45%, for a total of 108.2 million. Still disappointing. Toy Story 5 made 18 million for a total of 403.77 million domestic. That's huge. Evil Dead Burn, which I saw and I thought it was a fucking hoot. It's a French extreme Evil Dead movie, dude. You'll love it.
Yeah.
13.7 million. Young Washington did 6.44 million. The Invite from A24, which turned out to me to be a crushing disappointment, made 5.7 million from A24, and Obsession put another 308 million in its coffers at number 7. It has made a total domestically Obsession of $253.3 million.
Insane.
Supergirl did 3.6 million. Its total domestic is $66 million. Fucking disaster. Absolute, utter disaster. I wonder if somebody ever did YouTube shows on that. Don't know. Disclosure Day, 3.2 million for a total of 111.3 million domestic. Backrooms made another 1.48 million. Backrooms has made a total of 194.1 million worldwide, and Backrooms running global cume stands at $375.7 million. The fact that Backrooms worldwide might pass 400 million. Obsession's already passed 400 million.
Yeah.
$800 million generated by a movie that cost $750,000 and another movie that cost $10 million. The return on investment on those are amazing.
Yeah.
And then the 11th movie, Gail Doherty and the Celebrity Sex Pass, was at 1,000 theaters, and it made just shy of $1 million. And that's a soft result. Bad marketing there, but the movie looks good. And Zoe Deutsch is just a... I love her. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
So...
Rob, can you dive a little bit deeper into The Invite? Why you were disappointed? Because I heard only good things about the movie.
I thought it was very didactic. I thought it was very surface level. I didn't believe the movie at all. I thought that the script was not smart or literate the way it should have been. And I didn't believe, you're supposed to believe this couple. It seemed to me a movie that was made about a swingers situation by people that weren't swingers. I thought that the movie it rang false on every level.
Oh, okay.
And I know because of, I guess it's got some edgy nature that people have, it's the greatest movie. No, it's not that the performances were bad. I just didn't believe a word of it. And I was really primed for it. I wanted to love it. Yeah. And I did not.
Okay. And on that end, Rob, I was a little beside myself when you were talking about The Furious being disappointed by it. And finally, Rob, since it came out digitally, I was able to watch it too. So I saw The Furious, Rob. Well, it's good, but I was expecting awesomeness, Rob. I was expecting one of the best martial arts movie ever, considering the hype. But for me, Rob, I'm a little bit in the same boat as you. When a punch and kick doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
The Furious felt way too over-choreographed. It felt more like an artistic show, like you would see some artists performing a show for me. And first, it looked way too digital for me. A lot of CGI effects came to the blood. So for me, in the end, good. But I was like you, perhaps not to the full extent like you, but I was a little bit disappointed because after the movie, half hour later, I was thinking, do I remember any specific moment of the movie or the fighting at all? And I would have to say, not really. Not really.
And look, I don't take it...
And tumbling more. It was a different kind of fighting style, which I always appreciate, but I couldn't get into it, Rob. It was actually, it got a little bit tiresome at the end. It was almost
the ending was so boring, dude. It just went on and on. When they
picked up the bicycles, Rob, and I thought, what are we doing now with the bicycle stuff? And for me, too much CGI. And even if I accept, Rob, movie fighting is not real, but if someone gets hit with a sledgehammer, it's over. It's over,
Right.
And so for me, I was surprised that you came out this disappointed because I heard everywhere it's a new raid. No, it's not.
No.
It's not at all.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Watch the hammer scene from the Raid 2 and make a comparison to the hammer scene in the Furious, which has, he punches the people with, but nothing felt, I didn't feel the punch, Rob. A good martial arts movie. You sit there and you go, ooh, but it didn't do anything for me. in that perspective. And that for me was actually a little bit disappointing. I liked it, thought it was good, but it wouldn't even reach, I think, my top 20 martial arts movies, And I didn't like the look of the movie. It had that digital look to it, almost on the frontier to looking like a video, like having a video look. So I'm a little bit in the boat like Europe. Fine, it was good, but I was expecting, considering the hype that the movie came with, way more, I have to say.
Well, I'm happy because once again, I have to say that great minds, DIETER, think alike. And look, I don't.
Yep.
I think that I'm pretty. I don't think that my final opinions about things are necessarily correct, but I do, when I watch things like this, I mean, my baseline is to want to love something. I go into
Certainly.
everything wanting to love it. That's my baseline, because making movies is so difficult. But when I see something like when I saw Furious, I get what he was trying to do, but I just think the sensibility, the director's sensibility was wrong. And like you're saying, and to me, what I found so perplexing about it is, I was watching, I don't know what it was, I was flipping through something, maybe it was a YouTube thing, and I clicked on it, and it was a martial arts movie from clearly like the 70s or the early 80s. It was a Chinese, and the guy had a big white beard, and these guys are fighting, and it wasn't really fast, but the choreography was so cool, and the shot was a long shot. Like, there's no edits, and they were fighting, and you're like, I bought this. And I'm like, this is way better than Furious. And I understand,
they were toppling on top of each other, so for me the fighting style didn't work. And like you, Rob, it got tiresome at the end,
Yeah, it was
We're
boring.
still fighting that dude. Yeah.
Well, because even, I keep going back to one of the things that I learned the most in my DVD special features career was when I was creating the piece on editorial for the Two Towers disc, for the extended edition of Two Towers.
Yeah.
And the editors, Jabez Olsen was one of them, and the main editor of the film, and they were talking about the Battle of Helm's Deep. And they thought they had cut together this incredible battle that lasted almost 40 minutes. And they realized when they went back and looked at it, and Peter Jackson said that there was what they call battle fatigue. It was this incredible battle, but it was boring because you're just watching all of these people fight. And they realized what they needed to do to make the battle better was you had to follow Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. You had to follow them, because they were your characters, and as you followed the battle through their eyes, suddenly it got exciting again. And they cut the battle down, by almost a third, but it's all through the eyes of your main characters, so you feel it more. And when you're just watching all of this fighting, what were they trying to, especially the climax, you had 3 fights going on. What were they hoping to accomplish? Why are you sitting there trying to beat each other up? Just get a gun and shoot somebody. I mean, I'm watching this, they're fighting, and they're fighting, and they're fighting, and they're fighting, and they're fighting some more, and oh wait, they're going to fight some more, and let's go outside and fight in the rain. Now we'll pick up some fucking bikes. Why do I care? I would walk away, I'm like, this is boring. If I was watching that in real life, I would have been bored and left. I mean, and because there's no stakes. What are these people fighting over? They're mad at each other? Why are you fighting? I don't know.
Yeah. For me, still good, and I will certainly purchase the movie. But I was expecting, Rob, one of the best martial arts movies ever, because I remember always you talking in prison about Ong Bak, because Ong Bak was such a highlight, when Tony Jaa.
That was actually, I just want to correct you, that was LA County, LA County Jail, not prison.
Yeah. Okay. For me, it was prison, Rob.
Because down at the county,
talking
it's always a party, because everybody.
Yeah. Or when you think, Rob, about the first raid, I have scenes that I always can remember. When the guy gets smashed his head 3 times against the wall, or that a great backflip into the door, with the splinters still open. But the Furious, after half an hour, was thinking, what do I remember about the fight specifically? And for me, one of the main negatives was the CGI that was used.
Yeah.
It's okay to use CGI, but it was totally obvious.
Well, all the
there
fights
was
were the
too much
same.
visual.
There was no, like, nobody picked up, like, bats or something, and they were doing some cool. It was all just boring. It was the same. The fight they had in the beginning of the movie was the same fight they're having at the end of the movie. It's just more of it.
More or less, yeah. Correct. So for me, 7 out of 10. But I was expecting a 10, Rob. Expecting a 10. Then other stuff that I've seen, Rob. One of my filmmakers that I really love is Adam Meyer, and he has a new movie out called Caroline.
I'm dying to see
Samara
this.
Weaving
Dying to
and
see it.
Kyle Gallner. Great movie, Rob. After he did Dinner in America, this is the next one where it's totally Americana to the fullest. I really had a great time with it. Blu-ray is already pre-ordered. And if you have not seen, Rob, Dinner in America, I can totally recommend it. And the great thing is, Rob, Adam Meyer did a movie called The Bunny Game. I own that movie, but I have never finished it because the movie was too bizarre. So a director and The Bunny Game, I believe, Rob, has an IMDb score, I think about 3.3 or something like that. But coming back with such great movies, insane. So Caroline, really nice one that he did here. And I had even look up, Rob, because Kyle Gallner at the beginning does the smart change trick, and had to look it up on YouTube how this actually works, because I was thinking, wait, everything was correct here, or am I wrong? Because I couldn't figure it out. And then I went back to his filmography to see if I've missed one of his movies, and one movie that I have missed, which unfortunately is not out on physical media, is Snack Check. So I bought it digitally, had a great time, nice coming of age movie, a little bit over the top considering the teenagers, but still a good time. And I hope at some time in the future it will get a physical media release, because I would buy this movie too. So Rob, if you haven't seen Dinner in America or Caroline, totally two big recommends. And then the other one that Rob was raving about the whole year, I finally saw The Sheep Detectives, and I had a good time with it. I wouldn't go as far as you. It's the best movie of the year, but I had a good time. As soon as I acclimated a little bit with the CGI, cheap talking, But it was a nice whodunit, I have to say. I would not expect the outcome of the movie. So for me, good one, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it's the best movie of the year. But at least,
You're wrong, but that's
fine.
okay.
Unfortunately, it does not get a 4K, but it will get a Blu-ray release from Amazon, because Amazon is releasing a lot of their stuff on physical media too. So let me just see, Rob. That was the stuff that I have seen. Yeah, Caroline, Snack Check, and The Furious. And by the way, and like I told you, Rob, Citizen Vigilante has gotten his FSK 18 certificate, but only to see it in the theater, but not for Blu-ray. So Uwe was furious again, so he'll have to go, with the white logo here, so he can sell it. What can you do? So Rob, this was the stuff that I've seen. I think we had some super chats that came in.
Yeah, we have a few
we
super
get to
chats.
the-
I have to tell you though that I told you I saw Evil Dead Burn, and I saw
Yeah.
The Invite, and we talked about Evil Dead last night, but I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a hoot,
Okay,
and
Nice.
it really is a French extreme Evil Dead movie.
because I actually, Rob, was not a fan of the director's movie Infested, because the characters for me was totally annoying in that movie. And for me, considering spiders, I'm fearful of spider, just like Aaron Cummings. But if you give me a lot of spider, it's actually not as fearful as just one sitting in a
Yeah,
corner, And Infested has too much, actually, spiders, Rob. As strange as it sounds.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we do have a few we do have a few super chats, some good ones. This one, let's see. I think it says in Assistant Professor X. I love that. It says, Rob, CNBC had a report yesterday that because of rising prices across all streaming channels, people are going back to buying physical media. Have you heard if this is really true? Hashtag rebellion. It is true. I mean, there's more people going and buying physical media. Unfortunately, it is not helping as far as the business is concerned, because with things like the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6 or whatever, the upcoming PlayStation losing its disc drives, that's a huge blow. We're getting a lot of physical media from boutique labels. The studios themselves have almost pulled out completely, which is wild. I mean, we're getting some great stuff though. Warner Archive, by the way, has a banger slate coming out. And George Feltenstein, God bless George Feltenstein, reached out to me when he heard me say that, because they have you have to sign up to get review copies of discs. Yeah. And while that's great, I don't, I like the Warner Archive stuff, and it's hard to find, like to buy it. It's difficult sometimes. Yeah. So I'm not getting that, but George reached out and said, I'll send it to you directly. And after looking at their new slate, because they've got great stuff coming out, but I haven't received, like, they've got Private Benjamin. I went to buy Private Benjamin. I haven't received, like, the last 2 months or 3 months of Warner Archive titles. And there's stuff that I really, really want, like Private Benjamin, Out of the Past. We'll talk about it in the news. They have they have two. They have Anti-Mame coming out in 4K, and they have Out of the Past coming out in 4K. And the Warner Archive 4K titles, the last one they have, which I do have, is the George Stevens, A Filmmaker's Journey, which is just beautiful. Really, really cool. But yeah, so it's physical media. We are the red light is blinking in terms of our physical media era, because it's the players. And no, you'd have to have somebody a significant uptick in physical media. But what I've noticed is, like with CD players, I've noticed on my social media feeds, there's really cool, like, desktop, like, clear CD players where you can see through into the mechanism. And because I have probably, I want to say 2,000 CDs still, 2,000 or 3,000, and I want to get a table. I want to get it and put it here on the desk because it's cool. Because that's what I want.
A clear, transparent CD player.
Yeah, nice. I mean, it's really, really cool. So why not? Yeah. Why not do it? So, but yeah, good stuff. But anyway, yeah. So that was that's the answer to that question. But the next one comes to us from, is it Hembry Jeremiah? I found Monty Python and the Holy Grail at a thrift store near my house. Ooh. Go to your local thrift store because they always sometimes have good DVDs, and I bought it on the spot. I agree with that. I think there's I found a lot of cool stuff at thrift stores, and a lot of people I've noticed dealing with Michelle and Gabe, who were doing our poster sale, when they go to buy estates, sometimes they have massive quantities of DVDs and Blu-rays when people pass away. Like when I'm dead, somebody's going to really enjoy, because Elizabeth, they won't care about my collection, but somebody's going to have a good time. And if you think about it, I mean, not to be morbid, but there's only 21 years before I'm 80. So I look at,
I'm not far behind, Rob.
I have one more year. I mean, if you break your life into 4 quarters, like a football game or something, if you think about each quarter of your life as being 20 years long, I'm going into the 4th quarter next year. So, well, actually, the end
Pop culture life shelf.
Yeah, the shelf. And so, but if you think about that, I mean, a lot of people do pass away in their 70s. So I probably have a lot less time than 20 years. I'm not going to care. I mean, I'm going to stay creative, but it's something you have to think about. Like, do I want to keep collecting stuff? Like, look, Arrow's upcoming slate, all these bangers that I've wanted in 4K, and I love getting. Do you know what Arrow sent me? Do you know what's coming from Arrow for me right now as we speak? Oh, there it is.
To Live and Die in LA from Arrow is probably coming your way, Rob. So I got it. And let me just check what the postcard says. You showed it already, Rob.
To have a Logan's Run postcard in To Live and Die in LA is perfect.
So you got the fake
Counterfeit
money
money.
here from William. Yeah, exactly. And little booklet for the movie, the disc. So it had the reversible cover artwork, but this is the same as the slip was. So I changed it. I don't know if the booklet holds any new information for Rob. Probably not. But at least we will get a
Yeah.
booklet with it. And I would think, Rob, it is from the transfer that Kino did for the 4K, or is it a little bit different? Do we know anything?
Well,
I have
Arrow
not
has
tried
a
to
tendency to tweak their transfers, so I don't know.
Okay.
It probably says on there somewhere.
Let me just see, Rob, if I can. Presentation in Dolby Vision. There's nothing specific here considering the transfers. No. And what I see, Rob, it's still 18 in the UK, no? BBFC. Still an 18 certificate. So I got mine already, Rob. To Live and Die in
Well, why don't you show us what else you got since you're already showing us?
Okay. So this is the first from Arrow. Let me just put Logan's Run poster in it. The second one from Arrow that I got for this week, Blind Buy for me. It's actually two movies, Sex and Fury and Female Yakuza Tale.
Sex and Fury is great.
Different cover artwork beneath. You can even switch it out to another different, because there are two movies for it. And let me just see what this postcard holds for us. Oh, a nice one, which I heard about, Rob. We probably get perhaps a work print of the movie for
How exciting is that?
Yeah. I have no idea where they found that, Rob. And we have a booklet for those two
God bless.
movies. Yeah. From Arrow. Then let me just see. Where do I continue? I continue with the one that I showed last week, actually, to explain a little bit about the rating stuff with Citizen Vigilante, but I was not focused directly on the movie. I showed Ready or Not, which I told you the movie is 16, but this actually is 18 because all the bonus features has go through the rating system too. So there is something in the bonus materials, perhaps a deleted scene or something there, which tipped off the FSK to give the disc actually an 18, but the movie is 16. But on the disc we find the 18 logo for it. So Ready or Not. And in the same vein was one of my favorite movies of the year that Rob trashed and bashed, and he is wrong about it. Is of course They Will Kill You. This is actually the Spanish edition, not particularly something special, but it comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. In the Spanish, it calls Te van a matar. So They Will Kill You. Not too thrilling, unfortunately, but it comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. One of my favorites of this year, still to this date. Then one of my other favorite movies of the year finally came out from A24. The Drama was one of my favorites of this year. Totally big conversation starter. This one, as always, from A24. We have a digipack inside it. So we've got Zendaya and Robert on the other side. Disc, of course, which actually, now I have watched it again here The movie has a great sound design. And I loved Christopher Borghi's movie before it, the Dream Scenario with
Right.
Nicolas Cage. And then we have those nice cards who depict some stuff from the movie. The nice book that he found. And it's actually on the back of the cards there is stuff to read, so it's not the same print on the back. So the drama, one of my favorites of the year. And I was, hopefully, for the people who haven't seen it, are lucky enough to don't know the big hoopla of the movie. When they get to it during an evening dinner. Because I was thinking about what could it be, and then I was watching the movie. Oh, okay. So the drama. This one Rob had in the news section, and for me totally too interesting, but I haven't seen it. It's called the School Duel. Our Nation, Our Kids, Our Guns. So it seems.
Did you watch that yet?
I don't. Unfortunately, not. Rob didn't get around to it. I don't know if the movie is. It seems some parts are black and white, or if it's totally black and white. I have no idea.
No idea either. I'm just
So,
curious
but-
about the movie.
Yeah, me too. The School Duel. Totally blind buy for me. But considering something like that, I'm always there for it. Just like with the next one, I heard good things about it. With Bill Skarsgård, Dead Man's Wire. Heard good things about it, but unfortunately, not seen it. Nothing special inside. So just a Blu-ray. Don't even know. Doesn't look like any special features are on there. And I don't know if Rob had the title in the news section, but we all know the original title for Edge of Tomorrow is actually All You Need Is Kill. And it actually got, I believe, an animated movie
Yeah, that's the new one.
for it. Yeah. All You Need Is Kill, actually. Nothing too extreme underneath. It's the same as the Blu-ray, but it has a little bit of a backdrop here behind it. But I haven't seen it. It's only, I believe, only 82 minutes or something like that. But I'm really looking forward to this one. All You Need Is Kill. Then, Rob, I have good news. Yuan Wo Ping is actually back. But I haven't seen the movie, but I got a nice edition of his Blades of the Guardians. So this is a chunky box set here. It came out in the Chinese market. So it features, let me just see, two set of art cards. So we have the poster here. Fortunately, I have not gotten time to watch the movie. And it's actually this way. We got a bit of a poster here. And then we have two sets. I don't know why they did two sets, perhaps different groups, perhaps. I have no idea why they did actually two sets of art cards for the movie. So, and I hope Yuan Wo Ping will deliver. Perhaps with an eye patch. How can I say no, Rob? No, lady with an eye patch.
You gotta love it.
That immediately is a yes. So, just put it aside. Then we have the second group of art cards. Like I said, I don't know if this is perhaps the good guys or the bad guys. I don't know why they have split the two here. I will hopefully find out after seeing the movie where there are two different sets here and not just one big one here. And then we have, of course, most important thing, is obviously, we've got a DVD for the special features. It's just here in the slip. And then we got a normal slipcase here. Standard M array. Here we have the 4K and the Blu-ray for the movie. And it comes with a nice book of the movie with lots of great pictures, actually. Not really anything text-wise. More stuff from the movie, I presume. But I haven't. Here it is. Legend and Whooping. But I haven't seen it. Blades of the Guardian. So this is a little bit of my first horror. So I give it over to you so I can put it back in a little bit in order here. Because it's a mess now.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Well, I'll go full frame. So the most exciting thing I got, Max Allen Collins sent this to me actually. This is True Noir on
nice.
physical media. This is the CD version of True Noir that was put out by our distributor Skyboat Media, and you can order this. I helped design the cover. Bartos, our artist, did the cover for this, obviously, and it says right here on the bottom, directed by me. So now that they put this out, I can go full speed ahead on the perks for True Noir that we owe for the Kickstarter campaign, which is the soundtrack album. This is only a 2-channel stereo version, so the Blu-ray is going to have the 5.1 version on it. But when you have something that you've made in physical form, and this is a really nice looking, it's really cool. I mean, great. And then the back with the credit block. I mean, this is, and the ISBN number. So to have something that's real, it's very, very exciting that you've made. So that's very, very cool. I was at Michael Rosenbaum's house earlier this week, hanging out, watching one of the games, and he wanted to see Free Enterprise, so that was fun. So that was cool. Then, of course, I did get a box from Kino Lorber. Interesting stuff. A movie called Magic Hour. And, again, a lot of these low-budget indie films or foreign films that I wouldn't otherwise see unless Kino Lorber sent them to me. They're still making DVDs. And so that came out on DVD. And then also the Robert Zemeckis movie Flight, which I actually love this movie. I really like this movie a lot. Denzel's performance is incredible. Jean-Paul Belmondo. What's that?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's Robert Zemeckis. That's right. Okay. A Man Called Roca. So that's pretty cool. Yul Brynner in Escape from Zarrain. Sal Mineo, Jack Ward, and Madeline Rue. Classic. Don't know anything about it, but they certainly put out an interesting. This is, I don't even know, The Hitman. With another Jean-Paul, Claudia Cardinal, and of course Jean-Paul Belmondo in The Hitman. And then they also sent me in 4K Wes Craven's Deadly Blessing with Sharon Stone. So that's cool. And then the last thing they sent me, Chris Elliott. This is 2 films by Todd Durham, Hyperspace, the 3D director's cut, and The Fright Before Christmas. I don't know anything about this. I mean, Paula Poundstone and Chris Elliott, so it must be a comedy. It does have a reversible sleeve on it. And of course, as when Kino Lorber puts stuff out, it has a reversible cover, but it also comes with 3D glasses. So again, this is a weird, I don't know anything about these movies, but Kino Lorber, they find the wackiest stuff, and when they put it out, they spare no expense. I mean, as you can see, reversible cover, you got a slipcase, and it must be some science fiction thing. Director's cuts of Hyperspace and The Fright Before Christmas, restored in 4K 3D by the 3D Film Archive. It's an irreverent, low-budget 80s sci-fi comedy written and directed fresh out of film school by Todd Durham. the creator, of the blockbuster Hotel Transylvania franchise. Who knew? Well, Kino Lorber knew. So, haven't watched these, but this is from 1984, so that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, it's Kino Lorber unearths these insane gems and puts them out. Whether they're foreign films I've never heard of, I always like getting a box from Kino Lorber. And I got a gigantic box from the Criterion sale. And I don't even know. I mean, I could rifle through.
So half off. 50%.
Half off. I could show you some of the things. You know, I was kind of, to be honest, for the Criterion sale, I have to put money aside. And I hadn't bought any Criterion titles since I think last September.
Yeah.
So it's been almost a year. So the Criterion sale, I actually squirrel away money. You know, when I have like an extra $20 or something, I put it away. I actually have a Criterion drawer. And I'll show you the first round of stuff I got from the Criterion sale.
Yeah. Holy moly.
I mean, I got a lot.
Holy moly.
So, well, again, I haven't bought a Criterion, because the Criterion sale, so for those of you who don't know, Barnes & Noble teams up with Criterion twice a year, in July and November. And by the way, and they put stuff for pre-order up too, but the Kubrick box set was not up for pre-order. So, and it's 50% off. So there's really no reason to buy Criterion discs until you can get them for 50% off. And that's what you wait for. And so I don't buy Criterion titles. I don't get them as review copies or anything. So the only time I get them is during the once or twice a year. So, and there's a lot of 4K stuff, which is great. And that's pretty much kind of all I buy. So here's what I got. Network. I got Lee Marvin in Point Blank. Todd Solondz's Happiness. And a movie I've never seen before, but it's in the movie The Aviator. The making of this movie is in The Aviator. Hell's Angels, which is made by Howard Hughes. Uncut Gems, which I'd wanted to get. The Safdie brothers.
Oh, nice.
Got that. Wim Wenders' Perfect Days, which I wanted, obviously. The Great Body Heat. And now a Blu-ray, Fassbinder, Rainer Werner Fassbinder's movie Corel. If you haven't seen this, it's pretty gay, but it's all, I mean, like it's a very gay movie. But it's got incredible production design. I actually saw this in the theater, but this is only a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So it's only a Blu-ray. Now Criterion also has their Criterion. They don't have spine numbers, but they have their Criterion Premiere label. So I got Cronenberg's The Shrouds, which I hadn't owned, and maybe I don't know if Second Sight. I'm still waiting for somebody to do Infinity Pool in 4K, or maybe they did. I don't know. I just need to get that. And then Kirsi Kurosawa's Cloud, which I picked that up, and then I finally, one of my favorite movies of the early '80s, Altered States.
Nice.
So that is one half of my Criterion haul.
Help me, Rob. Perfect Days from Wim Wenders was that new movie that he did.
Yeah.
About a man who is cleaning toilets.
Yes,
I believe.
exactly. Yeah. So those are the Criterion discs that I picked up.
Nice.
And yeah. So, and then I'll show you the rest when you show the rest of yours.
Okay.
But let me check and see if we have any other super chats, because we have our headliner. Although I resent you calling him a headliner, because we're headliners, bro. Come on. We're the headliners. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But the headliners comes always after the supporting acts.
That is true. Absolutely true. And let me check and see if nope, we're good. We're at that. We've got the super chats. We are caught up. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me bring on the man, the myth, the legend. Now, you've seen the intro, but it would have helped if I had actually put him in the show, which I have yet to do.
Little technical snafu.
So, I think it would behoove all of us if I went and added him to our broadcast, which sometimes, it helps when you do add the headliner to the actual show. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. Max Allen Collins.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
I
Hello,
do
Max.
not see how I can be considered the headliner when I've been completely forgotten.
You weren't forgotten.
Headliners always play with air conditioning. Headliners have air conditioning.
By the way, Dieter, I'd like to remind you that I was the one who shamed you for criticizing, the Sheep Detectives without seeing it.
Not being the best movie of the year, yeah, Max.
No. You did your critique before you saw the movie. We don't do that here.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Isn't that right, Rob?
That is correct, Max. How are you this week? Did you happen to see anything in the theater?
I think we saw the what is it? The animated thing, the
Minions?
Minions and Monsters.
The Minions, yeah, which was kind of cute. It kind of wore its welcome out after a while, but I'm an elderly person, so a nap is okay. Doesn't hurt. But a fun thing is that my son Nate said that he was going to try to show as many of the movies to my grandchildren, Sam and Lucy, that were referenced in the Hollywood section of the movie. So they can meet Buster Keaton and they can, see Safety Last, and I think that's great. I think that's a service.
Yeah, indeed.
So
Indeed.
I wonder if I could say something. I felt a little bad last week about slagging a couple of things. My policy is really, and I review things I like here. I feel like since I'm kind of in the business, it lacks grace when I criticize something. But the problem is, you ask me. And when you ask me, I have a tendency to tell you.
I would hope so.
But, I was thinking about sugar, and the thing that I really didn't like about sugar, which is the thing that a lot of movies do that I think is a mistake. The lead character there is a movie buff. This detective is a movie buff. And they will do something like some kind of scene, and then they will intercut that kind of scene from a classic Hollywood film. Don't put your movie up against the classic. Don't juxtapose it with a classic Hollywood film and expect me to not notice how much better the Hollywood film is. and the only time I've ever really seen that work was in Christmas Vacation, where it was such a hilarious, juxtaposition of.
Or Dream On, dude.
Dream On was.
That was TV, though.
They built it very carefully around it. But anyway, I apologize to people because, as I think you feel, I know you feel this way, Rob, and I know you feel this way, Dieter. Just because we have a strong opinion doesn't mean you're wrong, or that we're trying to convince you to see it the way we see it.
No, we are.
Well, we can be right, and they can be right, because they're viewing it from their perspective.
You keep telling yourself that, Max.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of the hole, and you're having me dig just a little bit deeper. But I really don't want to insult anybody's, Anyway, so I got some good stuff this week. I got that Kino box myself.
Pretty good box. Pretty good Kino box.
Yeah, I had my wife help me carry it in. It was so heavy. I mean, it was a brick. It was a real brick. Speaking of Kino, this is Brit Noir Volume 3, or Collection 3.
Oh, hang on a second, Max. You know what I forgot to do in putting you into the show. Keep going. I
Okay.
have to add your audio track so they can hear you when I cut to the actual.
I love these. I love these collections that they're doing of the Brit Noir and also the French, and got to do a commentary with Heath Holland for one of the movies in an upcoming French collection, and I think probably we're going to do one for one of the British collections, but this is really pretty interesting. The first of three movies. The first one stars a guy named George Nader, who I think is a real interesting actor. He was a Hollywood actor, was a closeted gay actor who was a friend of Rock Hudson and Rock Hudson's agent, and he kind of got sold out. The legend anyway is that that Confidential magazine was going to expose Rock Hudson, and and Universal to do that by trading them George Nader, who was not quite as big a star. He was a very reliable leading man. He was in all kinds of stuff, terrible stuff like Robot Monster, but he was in a lot of good movies too. And he went on to do some very interesting things in Europe. He had a big hit with the Jerry Cotton movies. There were half a dozen of those. That's kind of one of the James Bond era espionage crime movies. He's a good actor, and my wife wasn't really familiar with him. And when we were watching this movie, which is called what's the name of it? Oh, Nowhere to Go. It's a 1958 movie, and she commented on, boy, she hadn't really seen him. So this guy has a really natural acting style. He's really believable, and I think she was right. This movie is also interesting in that it has Maggie Smith's first film role. And you've never seen her this young. She was a very interesting, beautiful woman. But to see her in 1958 is pretty cool. And one of the bad guys, the lead guy is a bad guy because it's a kind of a caper story, is played by Bernard Lee. And Bernard Lee is M.
Yep.
In the Bond movies. And so to see Bernard Lee playing a bad guy, pretty interesting. And the movie is very well shot. It's directed by Seth Holt, who did, among other things, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb and The Nanny. And it's a Ewing Studios, one of the last Ewing Studios productions. It's a really good jazz score. The script is a little sketchy, but it's always interesting and it's always fun to watch. Just don't think too hard while you're watching it. But it's a good little movie. And then the second movie in this box is called The Man Upstairs. It's a 1958 movie. It stars Richard Attenborough, and it co-stars Bernard Lee again, which is and M plays the guy who plays M in the Bond movies, early Bond movies, is kind of a nasty cop, and it's so at odds. It's what's funny to me is he kind of plays it the same way he plays M, but he's a bad guy cop, or at least an unsympathetic cop. And the situation is this movie is not a lot of fun unless you're in the right mood. As I say, it's called The Man Upstairs, and the man upstairs is a guy who's having a mental breakdown, and he's got a gun, and all the people in this sort of boarding house, kind of almost dingy boarding house, have different concerns, and it's kind of plays all in this boarding house. And the director is Don Chaffee, who is a really good TV director. I mean, we're talking about Danger Man, The Prisoner, The Avengers, the first Avengers, the real Avengers. But the problem is it does kind of play like a TV movie, and it has some noir atmosphere, but mostly it's shot like a TV show. It's okay. It's in fact, I think Leonard Maltin gets it 3 stars, which means it's not a piece of crap. But it wasn't my favorite thing on this try some. What was is a movie called Payroll from 1961. And it is, the director is Sidney Havers, he directed Circus of Horrors, which is something that you guys are familiar with. He was a major TV director, again, The Avengers, but also in America, Magnum PI, Remington Steele. So he had some real good directing chops, and it's a terrific movie. It's written by a guy named George Baxt, and he directed Vampire Circus, or wrote Vampire Circus, and he wrote Burn Witch Burn and City of the Dead.
I love Burn Witch Burn.
These are pretty interesting movies. And he also, George Baxt, was a mystery writer. And he's somewhat famous for having created essentially the first outwardly gay detective in a book called A Queer Kind of Death, which was very celebrated at the time. At a time, nobody was doing anything remotely like that. And then he did a series of Hollywood novels. There's, for example, the Clark Gable and Carol Lombard murder case. The guy was a really good writer, and this script is terrific. It's right in there with something like The Asphalt Jungle, starting out with a caper, meticulously plotted, and then obviously things go wrong at a certain point, and then you have the members of the mob of the gang turning on each other. And the most interesting thing is that it's really about the widow. At the beginning of the movie, this actress, Billy Whitelaw, who's I think a terrific actress, she plays just the nice wife of this guy who's going to be driving the van full of money, okay, and she's just kind of, she could be Harriet Nelson for all that much. It could be Ozzy and Harriet. It's that nice. And then when he gets killed by these heisters, the payroll thieves, she goes out for vengeance, and I mean hardcore vengeance. She really does cause a lot of trouble to these guys who are also having their own falling out. So, the plot machinations are terrific. I would say this is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Certainly outstanding on this particular disc. And Tom Bell, another really good British actor, is in it. He did L-Shaped Room, and he was on Prime Suspect with Helen Mirren. This is a terrific movie. So I highly recommend this whole box. But again, the movie Payroll, 1961, is worth the price of admission. Now, the next thing I have is a movie called A Cult Is My Passport. And that is, it doesn't sound like it, but it is a Japanese crime movie, kind of a Yakuza type movie. And it's by a guy named Takashi Nomura. I don't know anything he did.
What a great cover, though. This disc is rad.
The disc itself is great. I've got to show that off a little bit. Like the Brit Noir collection, what you see is what you get. There's a slipcover, and then inside it's the same art, and there's nothing special. But this thing, A Cult Is My Passport, front and back covers of this are great. I mean, just look at that. And then you got a different slip cover, and then
Max, where'd you get that from?
this I got from Debalik, and it's pretty much a very boutique. I'm not really familiar with the label. Take a gander at this, DIETER.
Didn't recognize the label at all. No idea.
Is that a
great?
CD label?
I don't know. Isn't that great? I mean, and now, as an extra bonus, the movie is terrific. Yes, the packaging is great. We all like our favorite athlete on the front of the Wheaties box, but isn't it nice that the Wheaties aren't stale? And these Wheaties are nice and crisp. I mean, this is a really good. The premise is a hitman who's supposed to kill one of. There's two rival Yakuza gangs, and he's hired to kill one of them, one of the leaders of one of the gangs, which he does. He does his job. He's very businesslike. This is Joe Shihito. That's the big cheeks Yakuza actor who I really love. I love Joe Shihito. And so he goes, he's meticulously planned how he's going to get away. He and his partner are going to get away. Well, the two gangs kiss and make up. And in the kiss and make up process, the gang whose leader was shot and killed, all they really want as a peace offering is to have whoever pulled the trigger on their man be executed. So now we have both Yakuza gangs after this guy who did the job for one of them. And fun and games ensue. It has the most incredible final shootout of this single guy played by Joe Shihito against, I don't know, 40 guys. And it's kind of almost in a field. I think I don't quite understand the location because it's kind of supposed to be near the waterfront, but it's just very stark. And you see how he prepares to take on 40 people. And let me tell you, you don't want to be one of the 40 people. And it's believable. Which it shouldn't be. It should just be ridiculous. Really, really good Japanese crime movie. Highly recommended. Cold as My Passport. And just again, Joe Shihito he was in Branded to Kill, which I know you guys know. And both of the Detective Bureau 2, 3 movies. I just love the guy. He apparently got cheek implants so he could look more like Robert Mitchum. I mean, what's not to love about that?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, and so that was terrific. Now, this is another Kino Lorber release, Kiss of the Spider Woman, and it's a 4K. Boy, does it look nice, and I think it does have a switchable sleeve here. I can hold up for you. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So it's very nice. Now, I love this movie. And I gotta admit, I don't think I'd have watched this if it.
Have you seen the original? Did you see the original with William?
I have never seen the original. I came in cold, totally cold, and I know the original is supposed to be very good, and it was a novel.
Yeah.
And basically, the premise is that it's basically a prison movie where there's a snitch who's put in with the political prisoner they're trying to get all kinds of information out of. And the snitch is very overtly, flamboyantly gay. And the cellmate seems to be a straight guy, but it's prison. What can I say? All right? Your options are limited in prison. And the gay snitch, and of course, the hero doesn't know that the snitch is gay, begins, because it's boring and it's brutal and it's unpleasant in prison, starts telling him about a Hollywood movie that he really loves called Kiss of the Spider Lady. And we then start to see that movie. So you go from this very gloomy, noirish prison to a bright Hollywood production. And the two movies kind of alternate. And it's fabulous. And the director is Bill Condon, who was the guy that did Gods and Monsters. Remember that?
And Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh.
Yeah, and he also he wrote the movie version of Chicago. I mean, this is a heavy hitter, and the actors are great. I wasn't familiar with either of them, but the lead actor is Diego Luna. Maybe you're familiar with.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
I was not. And then someone named Tant at Tia or something. I don't exactly know. But the star now, all of the people in the prison thing become cast members in the
Right.
Imagine, But the one person who's not in the wraparound story is played by Jennifer Lopez, and she's the Spider Lady, among other things. They play multiple parts. She's terrific in this. She sings incredibly well, and it's a musical. I should say this movie is a fucking musical. I don't know. It blew my mind, and Barb loved it too. And this may not be. It may not sound like your cup of tea, and it does have a gay element. So try to deal with it if that's a problem for you, because this is really worth seeing. And I think it got a little bit ignored, although it won a lot
Yeah.
of. It won a lot
As
of.
I remember, the reviews were not that thrilling for the title.
But it did get about a dozen awards in various film festivals, and I don't know what they were expecting from this movie, but the very fact that these two movies, this movie within the movie, is so different, is so colorful, and I thought it was delightful. I'm always happy when I see a movie I've never seen before. I've never seen anything like this. And it just makes again, this is a big recommend. If you may need to be a little open-minded, which can't hurt. Now, the last thing I want to talk about just briefly is one of my absolute favorite movies. It's a little bit off the mystery noir track, but I love Maria. I think that I Love Maria is one of the great Hong Kong movies of the 80s and 90s. I don't think it's talked about much at all. And it is very funny, very suspenseful, incredible action. Are you gents familiar with this movie?
I'm familiar with it, but I've never seen it. Give us a little synopsis. What's it about?
Well, this kind of cop, played by an actor you'd recognize from who often does stuff in secondary comedy parts. It's just kind of a comedy thing, and one of the actors is Shui Hark, the famous director.
Yeah.
Who is a co-producer of this movie, and I think probably at least co-directed it. The other guy, the real director of the movie, whose name is, if I can find it, at any rate, he the listed director is one of Hark's cinematographers. So I think Hark had to have had his fingers in this particular pie. And Sally Ye is who was in Peking Opera Blues and The Killer. She's a co-star. And Tony Leung from Internal Affairs and Red Cliff. He's one of the co-stars. And a cop and an ex kind of gang person. It's a criminal organization that are taking over the city, and they bring in a big robot to do damage and intimidate, and they end up with this female version of the this movie is sometimes called RoboForce, this robot. And so you have the two robots fighting in a big confrontation at the end of the movie. And I can't do it justice because the plot is surprisingly twisty. The
plot is wonky. Just say it, Max.
What's that?
The plot is very wonky. Because I have to say, Rex, I was not a big fan of it. For me, it was a little bit too far out in every department. For me. So I was really holding back, Max, because I wanted to see how does Max can deliver a synopsis of that movie. If it's even possible. It
isn't, but I don't care. Because I love it.
That's great.
It's very funny. It's very funny for a while, and then it shifts gears, and it has subplots, and I just think I've seen this for years. I discovered it when I was first, discovering John Woo and all those kinds of things in the late 80s and early 90s. And this always stood out for me. And I've shown it to people who've really, really liked it, including Nate and Barb. So some movies are just experiential.
Yeah. I Love Maria is the case of it's not any middle ground for that movie.
Are there other people?
There's a lot of people who love that movie, but I'm unfortunately in another camp. Rob, I can only tell you it's not robotics. It's not. Just saying.
Nothing is.
Nothing is.
Rob, will you watch this movie for me?
I will watch that movie for you. I didn't buy it, but I'll get it now.
Yeah. I totally forgot it when Rob had it in the news section. Then it came in the prize reducer and said, "Oh, I forgot. I Love Maria." And
well, one of the reference there, Maria. She's Maria because she's based upon the
from Fritz Lang's Metropolis. Yeah.
Right, and and there's a subplot about a reporter, and it really is
another subplot. Correct, Max. And another subplot.
There's a lot going on in this movie.
There's a lot going on.
Yes, it helps to be very intelligent when you see this movie.
Correct. So it's not for me, Max. Obviously.
All right. I have to say, I deserve that.
And happy you loved it, Max. That was totally my kind of movie. The practical effects were great, but the story was, what have they done here?
weren't the special effects and they're practical effects too?
Yeah,
that are amazing.
Correct.
I took the ride. I mean, sometimes with a movie that is maybe a little bit shaggy in terms of its plotting, and sometimes you just take the.
That's one way to put it.
You take the ride.
Like Chris Gore always said, a nice movie diet. With the noir stuff that you're watching, this was complete the opposite.
No, but I've liked this movie for a long time, and I really am glad that it's to see. I never thought I'd see it in 4K. That's for sure.
Yeah. It was the first time for me. I've never seen it, Max. Never seen it.
So you saw it.
But I will.
4K.
But I will give it a second try.
Okay. I don't think I defended it very well, but
it's tough. It's tough sell, especially from the story perspective. If you want to try to explain it to somebody, what is happening in the movie.
Somehow it isn't enough to just, when they ask you why you liked it, you say, because I really liked it. That isn't really.
You can like whatever you want here, Max. We don't judge until we do.
I will give it a second time, Max. I will come back to you after the second.
I feel rather judged at the moment, but
no judgment from me.
Okay. All right. So anyway, if you've liked some of the things I've recommended, then try this. If you haven't liked what I've recommended, go ahead and try it anyway.
But you were right, Max. It has very different titles. I think you were right. I think it was in Germany, right? It's called RoboForce, like you said.
It's RoboForce, yeah.
Riding a little bit on the RoboCup craze,
Yeah. And there is, there is this aspect of the Hong Kong stuff. Almost all of us who are into this kind of movie, John Woo stuff included, had to fight to find the little VHS tapes and to go into Chinatown and I mean it was, and you take the little tape home and put it in your VHS machine, and it was very special. But now we're all jaded. We're very jaded.
Well, you can get anything you want now.
Yeah,
that's right.
In
exactly.
4K.
You get I Love Maria in 4K.
All right.
Finally.
Can you tell I'm blushing?
Absolutely.
So, and I had a little problem, not a big one, a little problem at the Sea Wing.
Oh. After the fire broke out last week.
We got that taken care of. It was mostly the shed where all the fireworks were being kept. It was a pretty bad explosion. But we start, that punch card thing we started out where
Yeah, because we needed people to clock in and out, man, so we could pay them right.
No. When they come in, it's a frequent flyer card.
Oh, that one.
You can come with your wife, and on the week, on any time really, and you get the punch card, and you 10, and you get a free stay. Okay, it's very standard. But we had a new gal on the desk, Ramona.
All right, she's cute.
She's very cute, but she kept insisting on the wife being the same every time.
Oh.
And I'm rather loose on that. But
Yeah.
because of that, some people took great offense. And let me tell you, the one guy she kicked out, he was running through those punch cards pretty handily.
Oh no.
Yeah, with it. It's just he wasn't bringing the same wife.
You tell her she's got to mind her own business and not worry about whose wife is whose.
No, I can try that one. That's a good approach.
Because I like Ramona.
Well, I know she has a bit of a crush on you.
Yeah.
So if I say Rob is loose on this process as well, we should be okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to have any work shenanigans.
She's a little intimidated by Dieter, though.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
he's-
She's
Yeah.
also
Just the
Ramona's
smallest
a little.
burger bee at B&B
She's
Motel.
she's a little young for me, and she has an OnlyFans.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what that is.
But well, it's let's just say that she does some very interesting extracurricular activities when she's not at work, on camera for money.
This has to do with knitting or...
Nope. Well, she definitely uses implements occasionally. Yeah.
all right, okay. Well, maybe I'll loosen up on my attitude toward her now that I know this. So.
She'll help you with that, I'm sure.
Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. That's now I'll just crawl off in the corner, humiliated. This is what I get for giving Dieter a bad time. He was laying in wait for me.
Well, thanks for sending me this, by the way. This is really exciting to
Very
get.
proud of that. Very proud of that. Now let's make a movie.
Yeah, well, we're working on that.
Okay.
Things, and I was at Michael Rosenbaum's house this week, and
Yes, I know, and I'm
it's delightful.
incredibly jealous. This is one of the nicest men I've ever come.
He's got
into.
an incredibly beautiful house too. It's
Yeah.
really great, and his home theater is unbelievable.
No, he's fantastic. So, did you want me to stick around a little while for?
Yeah, for perhaps super chats. I don't know if. Any
Yeah,
super
I
chats
think
came
there's
in
only a few.
next.
There's a couple. Castle Grayskull says, Robert Dieter and Max, I bought Time Crimes.
Oh, nice.
Great, the Spanish film. That's one of my favorite time
Yeah,
travel movies
Spanish,
ever.
yeah.
Major Chai Chai says that she really likes your T-shirt, Max.
Oh, well, the T-shirt last time or this time? This time it's
time.
"Kiss Me Deadly,"
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
and last time it was
Perfect for a Sunday.
It was the heroes of noir. Hammett, Handler, Kane, and Spillane.
So we're caught up. We are caught up. We can give you the rest of your Sunday back.
Well, thank you, thank you. I may put I Love Maria on and try to do cliff notes of the actual plot, because
That would be nice, Max. Send it to me per email.
it has a plot.
It has a plot. There's a
Fact,
plot.
it has a
Like
plot.
like you said, there are robots. The bad guys want to take over the city with the robots, and you have the
What
science.
more do you need to
guy
know,
from
Peter?
the-
What more do you need to know that robots are taking over the city?
Yeah. Then you have the
That's-
scientist guy
I'm
from the
in.
police
Count
are
me
working
in.
on his program. Then you have the reporter, and you have Sui Haag is drunk, but he's actually from the bad guys, and they have fear of him trading their secret. It's all over the place, Max.
Well, you did a much better job on the plot than I did, Dieter. Much better.
As
Thank
much
you.
as I remember
I feel-
it, Max.
I feel
But I will
redeemed.
give it a second try. I will give it a second watch. movie always deserves a
I
second
feel
watch.
redeemed hearing you summarize the movie that well.
Yeah.
So
But it has a lot of fans, Max. Lot of people love the movie actually.
I'm one of them.
It like you said, it went a little bit under the radar because I never heard of that movie.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Just
And
one
it's-
question. Was the Platinum event, was that already? Did I miss that?
Oh, we haven't done that.
Platinum event was...
Yeah, with that
Oh,
keep
okay.
getting moved, we haven't done the Putnam
Okay.
anything like that. Maybe we will get back to that.
Oh.
I hope so. Well, Max, it was always great to have you. Thank you so much. Do you have any news on the publishing front at all?
Well, did we talk about the fact that this is the 50th anniversary of Quarry?
No.
And I'm sending you, I can send both of you an advance copy of Quarry's Reunion, which is the 19th Quarry novel. The Quarry, who is a hitman character I've written about since 1970. Well, I started writing about him around 72. And
Wow.
the first book was published, I think, in
Same.
76, because this is the 50th anniversary, which makes Quarry, even though I haven't written him every year or anything, Quarry's the longest running crime series in America.
Wow.
And it would be in the world except for Agatha Christie, I guess.
Wow.
So the 19th book is going to come out late this year, and you guys will see it in advance. Again, it's called Quarry's Reunion, and very excited about that.
Congratulations. Very cool.
Thank you.
Just check the postage price first, Max. You know, it's not cheap sending me stuff. You know.
Maybe I'll send you an ebook.
Okay.
Would you read an ebook?
But we would love to have, you know, physical something in my hand. You know.
Yeah, I just had to send a copy of Return of the Maltese Falcon to my editor in England. Now, remember, the book's published in England.
Yeah.
And so he wanted a signed copy for me. So it only cost me $60 to send him a signed copy of the book.
Yeah. More shipping costs
In
than
the
the
fucking
actual
country where it was published.
That's
I mean-
crazy.
shipping costs are insane.
Always,
Matt-
always pleasure. Just a pleasure to be with my pals.
Well, it was great to have you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I don't know if isn't the Argentina-Switzerland game today? Maybe isn't that?
No, those games are already done, Rob. We only have the two half finals now.
Who won Switzerland-Argentina?
Argentina
Oh,
won.
How did I not know that?
So we have only two half finals. We have France versus Spain and England versus Argentina on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes, right. Okay,
Half finals.
that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, and on that
You know
note,
what a sports fan I am.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, Max Allen
That's
Collins,
why we keep you informed here, Max. On Let's Get Physical Media, you know.
That's right.
We talk about the World Cup.
We will bid you adieu, Max, and
right.
thanks for being
Adieu.
here. Much obliged.
See you next week, guys.
All right.
All right.
And the C Wing is closed, ladies and gentlemen. The great Max Allen Collins.
Awesome.
All right, so Dietz, where are we at? You got more stuff to show, right?
Yeah, I've got more stuff to show. Actually, I've got two titles that you already showed, Rob, because I was happy that you showed those two titles because I totally forgot that they came out from Second Sight. And I thought, wait, didn't I order that? Because, you know, when we both pre-order the stuff, because the UK is a little bit closer to me, so I often get the stuff first. And I thought, wait, Rob has those titles? Why don't I? I totally forgot to order them. But I finally got mine.
How dare
From
you?
Second
forget
Sight.
to-
The
Oh,
Insomnia package. Rob already showed. So we have the Digi. Really looking forward to seeing the original. I'm not sure if I actually
Great
have
movie.
seen the original one. Remember seeing the Nolan one? And of course, as always, Inside delivers big chunky book with it, and of course some art cards. Rob already showed the set. So Insomnia, and Rob, do you remember the second title that you had? That I forgot.
The other second site
order?
title was The Devil's Candy.
Correct, Rob. The second title was The Devil's Candy, which is in the same traditional package that we know from second side. So this is the back. That's totally fitting, Rob, considering your Midnight Metal opening here. The back, so the 4K and the Blu-ray. And the usual thick book and some art cards. Nice. Flying V here. Haven't seen this movie in a long time. Really looking forward to giving it another go. There are a lot nice images here. Skip through it a little bit. So Devil's Candy. But that's not all that I ordered from second side, because there's another package that I got from second side, and I'm really was happy to getting this one from Norway. Unfortunately, Norway didn't make it to the semifinals. Yesterday I was hoping they could make it against England, but they didn't. But at least the Norwegian movies of Coldplay are out in the nice trilogy.
Yeah,
box
I
set.
didn't. Are
It's
those
not a
good?
four-
I didn't get those, and then they sold out of that.
Well, Rob, I watched the first and the second one. I have not seen the third one, and I even don't remember if I haven't ever seen the third one. And I have to say, in all honesty, the first one is a little bit not as thrilling as I had remembered it. Simply because one of the facts is I don't like how the movie looks at all. It's very desaturated, almost black and white here and there. It's not considering the transfer that Second Sight did. I don't know why Roar Utag, the director who did the Tomb Raider movie with Alicia Vikander, he did the first Coldplay movie, decided to have the movie look that way, because you have great locations here in Norway. The movie looks just drab, and when a movie looks that way, that is always already negative in my perspective. The good thing about the first Coldplay are actually the characters in it. They go snowboarding, one has an accident, they venture out into an abandoned hotel, but of course the inn is not really abandoned. There's a killer going around.
Right.
So for me, the first one, actually 20 years later, because the first one is from 2006, is a little bit tame by today's standards, Rob. Just is the way it is, you know. Love our kills in those movies. It is a little tame. But the second one, I really like, because the second one, I watched this afternoon. You can actually compare it a little bit to Halloween 2. What I mean by that, Rob, it completely starts where the first one left off, and we get our final girl from the first one getting transported to a hospital, you know, the body's coming into the morgue. So the second one is really nice. So the second one is for me, way better, actually, than the first one. So this is a case where the sequel is actually better, and you could actually start with the second one and watch the first one as a prequel. The third one, I actually don't remember if I even seen this one. But this is really a nice box set that Second Sight did.
Yeah.
So we have our main Yannick here. Yes, she's the lead who appears in 1 and 2. Camilla. And you know her, Rob. You know her often. You have definitely seen her. She played in Westworld, I believe. She was had a little bit of a role, and some other American stuff. Definitely know her. So we have 2-3 movies, and they come with new bonus features, audio commentary from Roar Utag and the main actress. 20 years later, they're looking back at the movie. So even nice bonus features and really nice thick book about
Nice.
the movies. And, of course, we have some art cards, too. So Coldplay, the trilogy. Nice to have this one. But, like I said, those are only Blu-rays. Even if I have checked, the movies are actually not, I believe, not shot digitally. They are actually 35 and 16 millimeter movies. Coldplay, the trilogy from Norway. Then one of the big sets, or just one title, and then we will get to the big set from 88 films. Unfortunately, I have not gotten around to it because I'm looking really forward to seeing how the 3D actually will hold up. We come to Jackie Chan in Magnificent Bodyguards from 88 in 3D. A little bit strange cover here on the back. I have not gotten around to it because I didn't even know that Jackie did a 3D movie back in the day. So we have 3 discs with the 3D version and the anaglyph version and probably a 2D version. Yeah. So we've got 3 discs, a booklet for the movie, and I read in the comment section that someone really recommends this movie even from the 3D perspective, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to it. But it came actually, this was really nice, with a little bit of a lenticular as an added bonus. And even the anaglyph glasses are made specifically for the movie. And then we come, after I put it together here a little bit, to the big box set that I did not find time to show it last week, but I'm gladly doing it today because from Arrow, I've got a nice breakout set from Jackie, which I have actually prepared a little because the outer slip is not really easy to remove. So I already popped it up a little bit. So we have all the so-called breakout hits from Jackie, and he finally got a little bit of a break in America. So we got Drunken Master 2, Rumble in the Bronx, Thunderbolt, Police Story, aka First Strike, number 4, and Mr. Nice Guy, and Who Am I? So we have this nice box. We have the big Golden Harvest logo on the back. And the nice thing that Arrow did, we have most of, I think, every movie has, I think, 2 cuts of the movie. Often, the movie were internationally cut down, shorten a bit, getting rid of the story a little bit, focusing more on the action. But here we will get the Hong Kong versions for it. And only, I think, Thunderbolt has a Japanese cut, but the Japanese cut actually is shorter here as the international versions. Let me just show you all the titles. And even if all titles have reversible cover artwork, the ones that Arrow used already were so great that I didn't even switch the artwork. So we have Drunken Master 2, which of course came out from Warner Archive in the States, but here got finally a 4K version. Rumble in the Bronx, this big break, finally. And this one, actually Thunderbolt, for me was kind of an unknown. I knew about the movie, and it was one of those Jackie movies which I always steered around. I have no idea why, because actually, even if the story is wonky, it's actually pretty decent. Thunderbolt. Then we have First Strike, which of course, like I said, everyone has a little bit of a longer cut. We have the nice Mr. Nice Guy. And this one I haven't seen in a long time. Really looking forward to Who Am I? And like I said, you can switch it out to reversible cover artworks. Every title. But I think the ones that Arrow already used are such great cover artworks that I didn't switch out any of those titles against the alternative. So some titles have 1 discs, and there are titles, actually, like I just seen, Who Am I comes with 2 discs. It's depending on the movie. So I only seen the first 3, Drunken Master, Rumble in the Bronx, and Thunderbolt, but I hopefully will get through the whole set. But then, this is really nice. The book that Arrow did for the box set, which of course gives a little bit light on every movie that's featured in the box set. So me, as a big Jackie fan, this actually is one of the scenes from Thunderbolt. So this is really a nice box set, which I wouldn't be surprised if it will come up at the end of the year when we do our best of, when I have gone through the movie completely. Then we have a little bit of a poster here. You just see, okay. One side here is for Rumble. I remember that with all his accidents that he had, and for Drunken Master. And then let me just see what we have here. A little bit of added bonus, probably some art cards. Yeah. Oh, actually, a lot. Quite a lot here for all the different movies. So Drunken Master, Rumble. So for every movie, you get some art cards, or a little bit more of lobby cards here too. So, and they are printed on the back too, always fitting what movie is. So First Strike. So a really great box set for every Jackie fan, especially when you get the Hong Kong versions and the international versions. So for me, this was a must-have, and I didn't regret getting this. So I don't know if Arrow has plans for doing another one, since it's called it's just Breakout Hits. I was thinking it was number 1. No, it's just called Breakout Hits.
Well, there
This
you
is
go.
my last talk. The Jackie Chan box set. Give it over to you, and I put all the stuff carefully, at least, hopefully carefully, back together.
I just have the remainder of Criterion stuff, and I will
The remainder.
show it.
Here.
I'll just rifle through it. Some Like It Hot in 4K, one of the greatest comedies ever made. Trouble in Paradise, an Ernst Lubitsch film, which is also a fantastic film. Bob Fosse's Lenny. If you love All That Jazz, and All That Jazz is one of my favorite films of all time, it in a fictional way, the making of Lenny plays into All That Jazz. The Joe Gideon characters editing this film in All That Jazz. Not this exact film. It's a fictionalized version of this film, but this is his great movie about Lenny Bruce. Resurrection, a film I haven't seen. That's another Criterion premiere. It looked incredible.
I haven't gotten around to it myself, Rob.
I don't know.
I only heard good things about it.
One of the greatest romantic tragedies of all time, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Jacques Demy. I love this movie, and it truly is. I mean, this was an inspiration to La La Land. Fantastic film. Criterion did put out a box set of these movies, like The Young Girls of Roquefort, and I wonder if they're going to do that. But they released this in 4K. Errol Flynn's Captain Blood. I loved this movie when I was a kid. Had to pick that up. Finally, Honora. The last times I've tried to get this at the Criterion sales, they have been sold out. So I have Sean Baker's. I think I have all of his movies now. The Florida Project came out from Second Sight. And then Birth, which I love this movie. It's a little creepy, but I do love it. And I'm just a Jonathan Glazer fan. He did what was the Nazi concentration camp movie Outside?
I know
you
them.
know, I want to
know
say
them.
not Person of Interest. I'm dying. I'm
damn it.
and yeah.
I know the movie. What you mean, Rob? But like you, our memory banks are often way too
Zone
way
of
too
Interest.
full.
Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest. That is,
Yeah, and then His Girl Friday, got that. Of course, Under the Skin, he did as well, the adaptation of the book. In the Heat of the Night, because this movie is fucking great. And finally, Cronenberg's History of Violence. And so I was able to get, and that is it. I believe, other than a few that haven't come out yet, I think I'm all caught up on Criterion in terms of what I wanted. And that's nice, because now I don't have to worry about it until November. And then the only thing I want in November is that Stanley Kubrick box set, which will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, half off.
Yeah.
So it won't be $500. But that's what I have.
I remember, Rob, you had the Sopranos set in the news section last week, and I think the price is pretty fair with this one.
I do too. Yeah, I want to get that.
$50.
Price is definitely fair. So that brings us to the news. Should we go to the news? At the top of the news, Warner Archive has a banger of a slate, including 2 upcoming 4K titles. And these are all Stone classic films, beginning with Sergeant Rutledge. And again, these are the August batches of films. Sergeant Rutledge is from 1960. And it's a John Ford movie, and it's the story of Sergeant Rutledge, played by Woody Strode, a 9th Cavalry officer on trial for rape and murder. And Jeffrey Hunter, Captain Christopher Pike himself, defends Rutledge as witnesses give testimony relived in flashbacks, revealing the sergeant's gallantry and the shocking truth behind the alleged crimes. And Ford, who attacked racism in The Searchers, explores similar territory in this landmark Western. This is a really, really, really great movie. And it's cool that it's coming out from Warner Archive, which means the bit rate will be high and it'll look fantastic. And it's John Ford. So there you go.
And I was thinking, Rob, when I saw the cover, that dude looks a little bit like Pike. And I wasn't, but I wasn't sure.
And you were right. You were right. And this is an adventure saga Montana about a bitter range war, and Errol Flynn stars as Morgan Lane, a transplant Australian sheep man who rides into cattle country looking to buy grazing land and finds himself up against ranchers who would rather draw guns than welcome a woolly interloper. So again, a banger of a movie that stars Errol Flynn. I mean, George knows what to do. He knows what to put out. And the next one they're putting out is All Through the Night, with Humphrey Bogart, Conrad Adrian Veidt, Conrad Veidt, and Karen Verne. And Ruckus in Europe, Churchill and Roosevelt can have it. Gloves Donahue is too busy laying his peepers on the Saratoga morning line or noodling out another way to rub up against the considerable dough, but when someone bumps off the little old man who bakes Glove's favorite cheesecake, well, this means war. Following his triumph in High Sierra and the Maltese Falcon, Humphrey Bogart had a great deal of fun taking on the change-of-pace role of Gloves, and the hijinks are winningly contagious in a spoof that pits him against Nazi spies. So what's not to love? Humphrey Bogart fighting Nazi spies. And then we have the beloved Pennies from Heaven. Pennies from Heaven with that great Bob Peak poster art. Of course, this is a musical with Steve Martin and Bernadette Peters. So I saw this movie in the theater, and this is taken from a 4K restoration. And what's not to love? Pennies from Heaven. Pennies from Heaven.
From the cover style, Rob, it looks, for me, actually a little bit like Excalibur.
Well, it's the same poster artist.
Oh, okay.
So you are correct. You are correct in that. Yes, it's Bob Peak, who also painted the poster for Star Trek: The Motion Picture. So, and Spy Who Loved Me. So you are correct in that assessment. And then we have Cagney, Sheridan, O'Brien in the torrid zone. Big shot Steve Case knows only one man can shape his troubled Banana Republic plantation fireball, Nick Butler. But Nick may be a little bit distracted. He's just met stranded American Lee Donnelly, a chanteuse who can hold her own at the card table. So it teams up James Cagney and Pat O'Brien for the 8th time in this snappy action comedy. It's widely cited as putting her on the movie fans' map. Hollywood's oomph girl Ann Sheridan portrays the wisecracking Lee. So there you go. Witty repartee, vintage newsreels, what's not to love? Now, one of the things I also do like about Warner Archive is when they put out TV stuff. And again, taking a turn, Forever, the TV series, it only ran 1 season, but New York City's star medical examiner, Dr. Henry Morgan, has a shocking secret. Every time he dies, he comes back to life. And using 2 centuries of experience and knowledge, Morgan solves criminal cases while attempting to uncover the truth behind his immortality. This only lasted 1 season, but it's a favorite of many people, and Warner Archive is putting out. They're also putting out Barry Levinson's Wag the Dog. I love this movie, written by David Mamet and Hilary Henkin, who wrote V for Vendetta, and Hilary Henkin also wrote Romeo's Bleeding. And so I love this movie. You know, the president's getting into a scandal, and they go to a Hollywood producer to dream up a war so they can take the heat off the president's sex scandal. So, like, we've never heard of that before. But this movie it's great if you've never seen it. And Dustin Hoffman's basically doing Bob Evans in this movie, and it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then the human comedy, Mickey Rooney. I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid. Mickey Rooney plays kind of a teenager who writes all these telegrams for people in his community during World War II. And it's kind of an uplifting comedy. Well, not really comedy, but it's just an uplifting film about a man who wants to bring happiness to people during World War II. And then we go to The Bad Seed. I should have shown this when Max was still here. This movie's great. It is a movie. Rhonda Penmark, played by Patty McCormick, is a well-mannered 8-year-old girl and an efficient, unfeeling killer. And in this spellbinding chronicle of evil, whatever Rhoda wants, she ruthlessly gets. And this is one of the great first twisted, I'd call this a horror movie, but it's amazing. And Patty McCormack does audio commentary on it. And so, yeah, this is good stuff. Gotta love that. And then we have a great John Wayne movie, a World War II movie. The Wings of Eagles is coming out. And look at, again, George finds the best covers for these things. And so good. And The Skies beckon Frank Spiegweed, pioneer aviator, renowned screenwriter whose works include John Ford's They Were Expendable and Man of War. And The Skies beckon him. He has a crippling injury and is left and powerless to act, propelling him to discover the power of his pen. So, Wings of Eagles. Hey, it could be great. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's great. I've heard it's great. And there you go. Now, another classic, Broadway Melody of 1938. During Hollywood's golden era, a top-flight MGM musical could be counted on to have bright songs, bright stars, and eye-popping spectacle. Broadway Melody of 1938 is a classic example of the extra level of excellence that was the hallmark of MGM Productions. So what's not to love? And then, not to be outdone, in 4K, we have Auntie Mame with Rosalind Russell. This movie is a lot of fun, and I'm sure this restoration looks absolutely incredible. It comes with 2 discs.
Tops
the 4K
bestseller, tops the play. Okay.
Yeah. And they took this from a 12K scan of the original Technorama camera negative. It has a brand new 5.1 track.
Scan, Rob. I didn't know that something
They
like
did.
that.
Yep, they did. And they down converted so we can I bet this looks absolutely spectacular. And then finally, coming out, they just announced this, the great Out of the Past, the original Out of the Past. Warner Archive is putting out another one of their 4Ks that they began with The Searchers. Their 4Ks are just absolutely beautiful. And we're getting 2 of them. Anti-Mame and Out of the Past. So, and this is one of the great noirs of all time, and I will happily buy this because I bet it looks absolutely incredible. So, again, Warner Archive with a banger slate. Banger. And then we have coming to us from, let's see, what is this? Imprint. These are additional August releases. They're releasing the Tales of Adventure box set number 12, and they're also releasing the Essential Film Noir collection. So those are coming out, and those are additional titles. So that's good. If you collect those box
sure
sets.
that box set will come up in the future. Essential Film Noir collection.
Yeah. Do you want to know what's in it?
Okay.
Let's see. I'll tell you what's in it. The Essential Film Noir. Let's see what it's got here. It's got Lucky Jordan from 1942, China from 1943, Tangier from 1946, and Singapore from 1947. A real travel log. So that's exciting. And then in the Adventure Collection, you've got Escape from Zerain from 1962, which Kino Lorber, you just saw that disc. The Devil at 4 O'Clock from 61, Assault on a Queen from 66, and In Enemy Country from 68. So we've got those, which is pretty cool. And if you want to get them. Then there's this, which intrigues me. The Silent One is being put out by Kino Lorber. This is from 1973, a.k.a. Escape to Nowhere. And coming out. So don't know much about it, but it is coming out. And then we have, in case if you don't have enough Warner Archive, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, the complete series, is coming out. Yet another Warner Archive title, which is crazy. And then if you thought that was all that what you were going to get, they're actually also releasing another Looney Tunes Collector's Vault Volume 3 on Blu-ray. So you've got more animation than you know what to do with. Again, Warner Archive is crushing it, and that's a big slate. Big slate for Warner Archive. So you go, George, and the folks at home. Fantastic. And let's see, we've got Universal catalog releases of their old stuff, beginning with Portrait in Black. Great cover, and Portrait in Black. Adulterous couple, Turner and Quinn, conspire to kill her tyrannical husband. Soon after the murder, the lovers in crime received an anonymous letter that says only, "Dear Mrs. Cabot, congratulations on the success of your murder." And with this alarming complication, their new life together begins unraveling as they become trapped in the realization that someone somewhere knows their dark secret. Sounds good to me. Then we've got I'll Be Yours. And then we've got Claudia Cardinal and Rock Hudson in Blindfold. And hey, what's not to love there?
No.
And then we have this, which is Deanna Durbin in First Love. That looks a little too innocent for me. And we also have Lana Turner as Madam X. So, hey, you got to love that. All of these are coming out on August 11th. And then we jump over to this, Hell's Highway from Kino Lorber. This is a Kino cult title. And this is the true story of the highway safety films that they would make to scare people in driver's ed class. It's a morbidly curious exploration of the near mythical driver education films shown to American school children in the 60s and 70s. Produced between 1959 and 1979 in Mansfield, Ohio, films such as Signal 30 encourage safety by force-feeding high school kids color footage of careless drivers' dark consequences, blood-stained wreckages, injured bodies, fresh corpses. And in the 70s and 80s, these traumatic films disappeared from the American classroom and assumed an almost mythical status. Eager to document this obscure chapter in cinema history, filmmaker and restorationists Brett Wood compiled these vanishing artifacts of grim America into a feature and then interviewed the filmmakers responsible for these misguided educational films. So originally produced...
The cover actually looks a little bit like a Creepshow comic.
I know. The new edition of Hell's Highway has been reconstructed through the remastering of the original 16mm interview footage as new restorations of the original educational films which appear throughout the documentary. And it was digitally restored in 2026 by Brett Wood, the director. So...
I have to say, the interest is peaked, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Who doesn't want
True
that?
story of highway safety films.
Crazy. And then we have more imprint titles. Never Say Goodbye. Fear Strikes Out. A lot more classic cinema. Screaming Mimi. And The Goddess. And I'm not done yet. A New Kind of Love. And finally, from imprint, Heller in Pink Tights. So there you go. Then after that, we have this, which is the 10th anniversary of Hunt for the Wilder People, the film that was directed by Taika Waititi. And so that's coming out, the anniversary.
In 4K,
and then,
in 4K.
Yeah, in 4K, that's right. And more imprint titles, which we have We Were Strangers, Ladies in Retirement, Home of the Brave, and The Men. Yeah, The Men. And then we've also got This Sheep Detectives, as you pointed out, in Blu-ray. It's coming out in Blu-ray. I wish it was coming out in 4K. A new director's cut. The director's cut version is coming out from Cinematograph of 54, where Mike Myers plays Steve Rebell, the impresario who ran New York's famous club, and apparently the director's cut is way better, so that's included here.
But
so
only on Blu-ray, Rob, in the set.
Yeah.
The 4K is only the theatrical version.
Yes, that is true. Thank you for pointing that out. And then we have Bluebeard is coming out from Studio Canal. And that's cool that they're putting that out. Mindscape, which is a movie that I don't know anything about, but Mark Strong is in it, and I like Mark Strong. So what's
and Tyler Farmiga and Brian Cox.
Yeah.
I was contemplating, Rob, have I seen this movie when it popped up?
Yeah, I don't know anything about
it.
Rob.
I have no idea if I've seen it.
Yeah, don't know. And then we've got In the Hand of Night, which I really don't know much about. No. But that's not surprising. So The Hand of Night is a Vinegar Syndrome title, and it's from 1968. And it stars William Sylvester, Diane Clare, and Edward Underdown. So don't know much about that. And then BFI is releasing On the Beach, one of the first sad movies about nuclear apocalypse, directed by the great Stanley Kramer. And this is a great movie if you haven't seen it, albeit very depressing. But hey, what's not to love? Then we have a new Ip Man movie. Ip Man Kung Fu Legend, The Master Returns. And that's coming out from Wellgo USA. Yeah. So there you go. Vinegar Syndrome is also releasing this, The Executioner Part 2. So I haven't seen The Executioner Part 1, but you can get it if you want. And then, of course, the Denzel Washington movie, The Hurricane. Actually, this is a really good movie. Might be interested in picking that up. And then we have Abraham's Boys, which I do not know much about Abraham's Boys, but
me neither, Rob.
Hey, it's coming. I'm just here to report things. Murder by the Clock is coming out. And then finally, we have My Sassy Girl, which is a Korean movie. I don't know this movie. Do you know this movie?
I know this movie, Rob, a really nice one, and I'm really looking forward to getting this Blu-ray because the DVD from back in the day, the Asian stuff often was not particularly good when it comes to picture quality.
Right.
It has a lot of dropouts as I remember the DVD. So I'm really looking forward to picking that one up, Rob. That's a really nice. It's a little bit of a different rom-com.
Yeah, this is from Film Movement is putting this out, and this is from 2001. ignited by what may be the most hilariously disastrous meet cute in cinema history, My Sassy Girl reinvented the rom-com with wild aplomb. An unassuming young man's whole world is turned upside down when a beautiful and ferocious female force of nature takes his life by storm.
Yeah.
So there you go, and it's based on a South Korean netizen's blog of reportedly true stories about his girlfriend. This proved to be a massive sleeper hit. I want to get this. It's one of the most influential Asian films of the 21st century.
Correct.
Hell, I'll get this. Sounds good to me. And now we move to the charts. Oh, let's go to Radiance, shall we?
Yeah.
Radiance, our headliner. The Radiance list of what is coming out, because Radiance has a great list of titles, and I don't want to forget about them. Radiance is putting these out in October. So let's get into it, shall we? There is this. It's starting with The Monster. So The Monster, Valerio is a struggling reporter with a failed marriage and a withdrawn son. He's angry at the world and strives for more. In the newspaper's mail, he receives the opportunity he has been waiting for. A serial killer announces and later carries out a series of grisly murders. And Valerio remorselessly uses this opportunity to improve his position and standing. But will he draw himself too close to the killer? And this is from director Luigi Zampa. The Monster is a satirical giallo film with a deeper commentary on the nature of the press and society. It has a catchy Ennio Morricone score, and this is the first time it's been on home video outside of Italy, which is fantastic. And then a movie that I actually quite love, Visitor Q. Have you seen this, Dieter? This is a Takashi Miike film. You got to get this. This is a struggling news reporter.
At least I don't remember seeing that one.
Yeah, it's good. A struggling news reporter keeps pushing boundaries to impress his superiors, finally winding up in a motel room with his estranged daughter. Back home, his bullied son takes the violent rages out on his mother, who turns to heroin to cope but must prostitute herself to afford the habit. Into this scene of severe family dysfunction steps Q, a mysterious stranger with a knack for knowing just what each member of the family needs most, whether it's a rock to the head, a sexual reawakening, or a bout of murder. And Takashi Miike comes his most transgressive film yet. This movie's hilarious, and it's quite dark, and I love it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Then we are getting, now you got me the 4K of this from Germany.
Okay.
But they've already released Planet of the Vampires, Mario Bava's Planet of the Vampires, which was definitely an inspiration for Alien. They're re-releasing it. Why they didn't do this in the first place, I don't know, but they're re-releasing it as a 4K. I love this disc. I love their design for it. I love the movie. So, Mario Bava did a great job with this, and it is an incredibly influential film. So what's not to love? And
actually a bigger copy number, 5,000.
Yeah.
As the usual, 3,000.
Yeah, because I think they're going to sell a lot.
Yeah.
Then we have Marge, La Marge, a.k.a. The Margin. Zygmunt, Warhol star Joe D'Alessandro, enjoys a romantic, sexually fulfilling relationship with his wife. And in the idyllic countryside, the happy couple raise their young son with the help of their maid. And on a business trip to Paris, Zygmunt casually picks up a sex worker, Sylvia Crystal, who played Emmanuelle. But in the noisy modern city, their bond soon deepens into a passionate affair, while Zygmunt puts off reading a letter from his wife. And starring two major sex symbols, this exquisite adaptation of a novel balances art and erotica in an embodied meditation of pleasure, love, and transactional relationships. Soundtrack by the 1970s synth rock acts. Soundtrack by 70s synth rock acts, and it includes 10cc, Pink Floyd, and Elton John on the soundtrack.
Ooh,
I mean, I gotta get that. What's not to love? That sounds great. Then we have Who Can Kill a Child? This is from their Transmission label. And if you guys don't know this movie, this is a pretty scary movie. A young couple from England plan an idyllic getaway on a remote Spanish island in anticipation of the birth of their third child. When they arrive, they find their destination almost entirely deserted with the exception of a number of children, all who are acting strangely. When the couple begin to find evidence of a number of atrocities on the island, they quickly find themselves embroiled in a terrifying battle for survival, as well as being forced to confront a previously unthinkable question. And it's an undisputed masterpiece, an extreme and unbearably tense work that remains deeply shocking in its disregard for societal taboos. So, hey, you go, Transmission. Look at that
Still
cover.
18, Rob. 18.
Yeah, this movie's great.
Yes.
And then, finally, from them, not to be outdone, we have this really interesting box set, Fantastique. And Fantastique is a collection of French films, as you might gather. And it's the dreams and nightmares of French cinema. And though rarely thought as a home of genre filmmaking, France has fostered a long lineage of films at the border between realism and fantasy. Broadly gathered under the term cinema fantastique, these works often find the magical and the surreal lurking in the ordinary. Uncanny dreams, fleeting visions, and eerie apparitions lift their protagonists out of the everyday. And there are movies from the 30s all the way up to the 90s. So this is definitely something to get. It's packed with special features, and I think I might have to get this as well. All of these are probably worth ordering. I should probably do just that. And now we come to the charts. Best-selling Blu-rays this week. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is number 1. Avatar Fire and Ash is number 2. One Battle After Another is number 3. Number 4, Interstellar. Must be re-released. Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning is number 5. Scream 7 is number 6. Boogie Nights is number 7. Sinners is number 8. The Patriot is number 9. And the Mummy Trilogy is number 10. And now we go. This is all HD formats, including Blu-ray and 4K. Now let's go to the 4K only charts. Super Mario Brothers movie, One Battle After Another, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, Scream 7, Interstellar, Boogie Nights, Sinners, Avatar Fire and Ash, The Patriot, and Jurassic Park. So there you go, Dietz. That is all the news that's fit to print.
That's fit to print. Okay.
There you go.
If you want, you can take a short break, Rob, watch the dogs, and I will take over a little bit for the live chat readout from last week. And I say, previously on Let's Get Physical Media, we have Mission Code C. He says, what do the minions sound like dubbed in German? I think they're talking pretty much the same in German. Gibberish. I would think so. Brian Knight, why can I tell the difference between an outdoor scene filmed on a soundstage versus one filmed actually outdoors? Yeah. The filmmaking is not up to snuff, up to par. You actually can detect that. And we don't want to detect something like that. Mr. Film Guy says, question, will this over time, considering Sony skipping out on video games as physical media, will this over time affect Sony Blu-rays and their partnership with helping out Disney Blu-rays? I have no idea, Mr. Film Guy, how it will shake out in the future with the companies, considering Sony dipping out on the game side. We'll see. I have no idea. Rulat6611, I don't care about physical games. Most are unplayable with just a disc anyway, but I'm a huge physical movie snob. Okay. And we are still good on that front to go. Clarence Maxwell, games on discs take hours to install and download endless huge updates. Discs are pointless. Well, Clarence Maxwell, I'm actually thinking I was already always happy when the disc contained at least half of the game and you only had to download the other half. So as a 50-50 thing, I actually preferred the disc. But if your internet is very fast, but the amounts that you have to download these days are insane. Victor Fontaine says, this will hit all physical media. There is no exact statistic for this, but estimates suggest that over half of all Blu-ray physical media owners use a gaming console as their primary movie player. That's really interesting to me, Victor, because I've never thought about it. That half use their gaming console as a player. Okay. Siggy Ziggy says, Dieter is the king of obscure titles. I love it. Yeah. That's hopefully why you are watching, to see some other titles that you don't see anywhere else. A Spectator 6506 says, I live in Vegas, and thankfully we are prepared for the hot weather with AC, but I've been hearing about hot weather across the world, and I feel so awful for people. I can't imagine. Yeah, the next heat wave is just around the corner. Victor Fontaine, yeah, between Prime Days, Kino Summer Heat Sale, Barnes & Noble's half-off Criterion Sale, and Severance Sale, I'm fucking dead broke. Yeah, we all, probably all are. Albetal 666, my problem with Audition, the Takeshi Miike film, is simply that it's a movie I will never watch again. And I have to check it again to see what's up. Valiant 1, or aka Paul and Brunotto. I heard Scream 7 was a horrible movie. John Campea really hated it. Paul, you go by the Bad Canadian Kid? Really? Really? Okay. Major Chai Chai, whoever recommend I stick with Widow's Bay, thanks. My family and I ended up binge watching the whole season. Yeah, was really good one. It's not quite living up to the hype for me. It's for other people, but it was a nice one. Alpidal 666, when Max comes on the show, he says, put the show to the max. And what's up, it's Storm says, I love the Obi too, that Radiance always uses the Obi. Valiant 1, Spider Noir was an excellent limited series in black and white and color. Where's the 4K? I think, Paul, we have actually pretty good chances that Amazon will at some point release a physical media of it. So I'm expecting we will get the disc sooner or later. Major Chai Chai, I was determined to watch Spider Noir in black and white, but something was off for me. I liked it much better in color. Yeah, I think both versions work pretty decent. Like I said, I went back and forth. One episode black and white, and the next one color. But it was at least nice to give the viewers the option. Solo Ace 88. Man, I thought this was Elton John when I joined in just now. When, of course, Max was on. And Kurt Levin says, Elton John has always liked Hammer films. The Alex Sorber, Max, you noir snob. Considering Max was not too thrilled with Sugar or Spider Noir. Not even as a perhaps as a jumping into the genre point. Federico Sanchez, Thunderball, because we had, of course, Max. I don't know if Max has watched any further bonds with his grandson, but Federico Sanchez says Thunderball is the best one. And Benjo Sandwich says, Dieter, to teach German football team how to take penalties. Yeah, the penalty shootout, the first one we lost in 50 years. Don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that. Dickie Holmes, I highly recommend the old school. There we go. Here it is. The 78 Jackie Chan's Magnificent Bodyguards. One of Jackie's best old school kung fu, and even in 3D available. The Alex Sorber. If Dieter is buzzing you, you are doing something right. I'm not sure about that. You by now says, saw Rambo 2 in theaters. It was epic. For my childhood, I had Rambo posters and wanted a crossbow. Yeah, I think we all wanted the crossbow. Or at least a knife. Das Plato. Dieter buzzes everyone at least once. I'm not sure about it. There are always people complaining. Why didn't I get the buzzer? You need to earn it. Christopher Carillo. Rob, I have some beef with you. As a millennial, I would like to have a discussion, but I don't stream. Can a phone work too? Stream on R. I believe a phone can work too. Just become a member for Rob and be on his member chats, and then you can have a discussion with him as a millennial.
Do they say what they want to talk about? He has a bone to pick with me, but
no, Rob. He doesn't say what exactly he has a bone to pick about. He just says, as a millennial, I would like to have a discussion, but I don't stream. Can a phone work too? Stream on arm? No. Become a member. Drew Gordon.
Send me an email.
What's a Chris? Yeah. What's a Christian Petzoid? Aware Jesus? No, Christian Petzoid. I was not sure when Rob had it in the news section. I had to look it up after our show. Yeah, it is actually a German director, but I don't remember what the movie was called. Mirrors something number 3 or like that. I will get that movie. The Alex Sorber, all the news. What about Kubrick? Yeah, but we all know about the Kubrick set. Come on, Alex. Technique 1, Citizen Vigilante 2, set in the US, is coming 2027, right? According to Uwe, not yet. He has to see how Citizen Vigilante holds up over the next 2 weeks, but at the moment he has no actually plans for Citizen Vigilante 2. Danzig, 1979. German rating board don't like vigilantes. Good luck, Batman. Deadpool Red Suit. Hello from the UK. I am late. We'll watch from the beginning. It's always a good thing to do. And Adventure Square says, Samara, Weaving fan forever. Caroline is great. I totally agree. 70s throwback. She's so great in. Yeah, and Kyle Gollner is good as always. He has find a specific niche that really fits him actually pretty well. You by now says, well, Germany created a tax loophole for directors like Uwe to use and abuse. Yeah, Uwe was actually pretty clever in financing his movies. One Mr. Jim says, once again, I agree with you about Bolt's Citizen Vigilante. Yeah, the movie is garbage. Alpedal 666. Uwe clearly wanted to polarize with this movie. The topic alone is fire in every direction, so he clearly knew what's coming. And Valiant 1, I would contribute to the crowdfund of your book, Rob. Any news on your book, Rob? How far?
No, I've been working diligently on it. It's bigger than I thought. I'm looking at like 65,000 words, and
Okay.
I'm just editing it. Going through it all.
Yeah.
And I might add another chapter. I'm not sure.
Nice. One Mr. Jim says, considering Citizen Vigilante, I saw it for free on X and I still want my money back. Totally unsatisfying ending. If he does a commentary, maybe I'll buy the DVD. Yeah, we have to give it to Uwe. His audio commentaries are always often more entertaining as the movies. That was the live chat readout from last week, Rob.
I got a Sub McShave writes in and says I missed a tip of his on Midnight Metal. Yes, I didn't see it. And Stub McShave says, I hope this won't bring down the mood. It's now been 18 months since the LA fires. Could you tell us how the aftermath and rebuilding of LA has gone? Yeah. I'm looking for a 3-sentence answer, not a 20-minute dissertation. Well, it's affected a lot of people. LA is really a shell of its former self. And the fire didn't help.
Devastating.
Whole rich enclaves. I mean, not so much Altadena, but Altadena and Pasadena. The city has changed, and a lot of people, I think, left for good. Some people are rebuilding, but the whole L.A. with the.
Rob, since you said Pasadena, was it in the area where you lived before?
It was close.
Actually?
Yeah, very close. A lot of the places that Elizabeth and I went to burned down. It was up higher. It was above us. And up the street, a couple miles, and it's just devastating. And I think, with the production, which is the main business in Los Angeles, really, so much of LA has changed. They've built all these. They're tearing down old LA, like the Sunset Strip's almost being completely replaced with hotels and new apartment buildings. And I don't know who they expect to live here because there's just not a lot going on in LA anymore. It's a totally different city, and with no production, and it's just really changing. It's just not what it was, and losing the Palisades and losing what was these neighborhoods and things in Altadena. I don't know if LA is ever going to recover. It's going to take a long time.
And not a cheap place to live either.
No, so it's a bummer. but we are. Let's see. We're all caught up.
Yeah.
So I guess that brings us to the end of our show, Dietz.
Yeah. I would say so. So
It's been a fun
on my
week.
end. Yeah, certainly. And we have the Odyssey coming up. When will you see the Odyssey? Have you?
To be honest, I don't have a ticket to see the Odyssey
Okay.
until the 31st of July.
Okay.
Because
A
I
little
just
bit of
didn't.
time.
You cannot. It's there. The Irvine Spectrum that we go see movies at.
Yeah.
That I go with Alvaro is running when it's starting next week when the Odyssey opens. They are running their IMAX screen 24 hours a day for weeks. Because it's one of the places where they're showing the movie in 15 perf 70 millimeter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard about some showings, Rob, even at 3:00 in the morning.
yeah, and the tickets that I have are for 7 a.m.
Oh, okay.
So it's just
So my
it's-
time, Rob, as an early bird.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought I'd be able to get in on a screening or something because
Yeah.
they've been screening it and stuff, but they want to do Designing Hollywood, so maybe I can get into an early screening. I don't know, but I'm trying.
It will be interesting to see when the reviews come out.
But I mean, to
But
have these
actually-
IMAX theaters that are running 24/7 for weeks because everybody wants to see it in IMAX. They know it's the first movie shot entirely in IMAX, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool.
Big week. So, Rob, on my end, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. I want to remind everybody that our ongoing movie poster sale is going on now. You can go to the eBay store, find your niche, and in that eBay store, if you look down, it says R&B's Imagination Connoisseurs. We dropped a lot of stuff, as I was calling them, 70s classics. There's a lot of great lobby card sets that went up, and still that it adds to everything that we've sci-fi and fantasy and horror and musicals and Hitchcock and James Bond. The stuff is being snapped up, and I'm sure there's something. If you're interested, you can find something. A lot of great stuff. I can't believe it's so funny looking at the stuff that's people are getting is really, really great. It's just fun, and the guy that I got all this stuff from is tickled to death that so many people are getting to love these things. And I've heard from a lot of people that have bought stuff, and everybody's very, very happy. People are shocked at how some of these things that are 40, 50, 60 years old look brand new. So
Yeah, like you said, Rob, some of the stuff were uncirculated.
Yeah.
Never used, never in rotation.
never used. They're like brand new, and some people are just, oh my god, this stuff. I took a stack of stuff for myself too, and it's amazing. I've got some really choice pieces.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Good.
But on that
Okay.
note, I want to thank
Yeah.
the moderating staff. I want to thank everybody that generously supports this channel via super chats and tips. I'm definitely going to get this book. If I crowdfund it, I'm going to launch the crowdfund so it ends on September 8th. And you'll be able to get on September 8th, you'll have the digital download and my audio version of the book that you can get immediately. And then there's going to be a hardcover, probably a slipcased hardcover, a hardcover, and then a regular paperback. And I'm looking into how I'm going to get all that done, printed and things like that. So I'm still looking into it, but I'm really happy with how the books come out. So there you go.
Rob, considering the dates, is San Diego Comic-Con is in 2 weeks, the weekend.
Yes, and I've got a number of panels. We're doing our Starship Smackdown panel. I'm doing a panel on Canadian variant comics. I'm doing a panel on the movies of 1986. And I'm also doing a panel on the Chris Gore's Indie Filmmakers panel.
Yeah, independent. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You probably perhaps, Rob, no Let's Get Physical Media in 14 days, considering
Right,
San Diego
that's right.
Comic-Con is.
there won't be. I'll be at San Diego for that. Yeah.
You have too many other obligations. Then.
Yes.
Just a heads up, people, in 14 days.
Indeed. All right,
So,
man.
guys,
Well, do you have a prediction?
See you.
Who's going to take home the World Cup?
Rob, it's actually now we have the semifinals with France against Spain on, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. That's really a a tough one. But considering, even if I bash them a little here and there, I will, of course, keep my fingers crossed for France on Wednesday and Thursday. And then we have Argentina against England. I hope England makes it because they have a German coach, Rob. So fingers crossed. So we get hopefully France versus England in the final.
That would be a hell of a rivalry too.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. Exactly. But we have Argentina and Spain. Those two know how to play soccer, so I know if my predictions hold up. This is just my wish. My
Sure.
wish finale, Rob, for next Sunday. We'll see.
All right. And on that note, everyone,
Those Rob are not there anymore for the longest time. And my US boys, unfortunately, didn't make it either. I was hoping for Norway yesterday, but football can be.
what
cruel.
can you
Soccer
do?
Yeah, what can you do?
All right,
Boys and
everyone.
girls, we'll see you next week.
Be seeing you.